In the 3rd year of our marriage, my wife, who had achieved entrepreneurial success, cheated on me. When I found out, I filed for divorce, and she brought me back to my parents' house. She gathered my parents, brother, and uncle's family, and calmly announced, "I cheated on him, and Ryan wants a divorce. You guys talk him out of it." I was shocked by her brazen audacity. But the next moment, my shock doubled. My dad smiled at my wife, Serena. "No way, Sonny, there's no way you'd cheat. You have such a good nature. No way, no way." Saying this, my dad turned to me, frowning. "What's wrong with you as a husband, making jokes like that about your wife? Hurry up and apologize to your wife, go back home with her, and don't mess around like this again." My mom and brother chimed in. "That's right, Sonny isn't that kind of person. How can you say such nonsense? Bro, stop it," apologized to Serena. "This isn't funny." I was momentarily stunned. "I'm not messing around, and this isn't a joke. Serena cheated on me. I even have chat logs and photos." Serena didn't close the computer after using it, and she didn't log out of WeChat. I saw her WeChat when I was going to close the computer for her. At the top, 2 men. One called Serena wife, and the other called her baby. The chat started half a year ago. The content was extremely explicit, with a lot of graphic photos. Most importantly, there were hotel records. The chat mentioned each of the 2 men at least 15 times. I felt nauseous and my hands were shaking with anger as I searched and saved the evidence. This was not a joke at all. I was about to pull out my phone to prove it. But my uncle's son, my cousin, stepped up. He grabbed my hand, looked at me intently. After a pause, he snatched my phone. No, it's not true, you're just talking nonsense. Cousin, just live your life, okay? Don't learn from those macho men on the internet." My head was filled with question marks. Serena was the one who cheated, she was the one who wronged me. I was just stating the facts, trying to prove it. Why were my family members looking at me coldly, one by one? They didn't believe me, they blamed me, they stopped me? Why? Before I could even ask my why, Serena spoke up. "You don't have to speak up for me, I did cheat. I brought Ryan back this time to have you talk him out of it. He's determined to get a divorce, but I don't want to. I still have feelings for him." I felt disgusted. Ignoring my questions, I immediately cursed. "Feelings my ass! If you had feelings, you wouldn't have started cheating half a year ago, and cheating on 2 guys at the same time. If you had feelings, you wouldn't be acting like a bride all the time, calling other men honey so happily. Stop pretending to be so deep. You dog, aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning and run over by a car?" I cursed angrily. But halfway through, my dad approached me. He raised his hand and slapped me hard on the shoulder. "Ryan White, what's wrong with you? Can't you speak properly? Cursing and swearing. What kind of man are you? Shut your mouth and stay behind me." Roaring, my dad pulled me behind him. My mom and brother followed suit, trying to pull me away. Deeper confusion overwhelmed me. In my anger, I shook them off, glaring at them. "Are you all crazy? I'm your son, I'm your family. You're not helping me, but you're helping the scumbag. You're all insane." My dad was getting anxious. He gave Serena an apologetic smile, seemingly afraid of upsetting her. At the same time, he hurriedly raised his hand to cover my mouth. I struggled, pushing him away. Seeing that he couldn't cover my mouth, seeing my angry face, my dad became even more anxious. Angrily, he called my mom, brother, and cousin, pulling me aside. He signaled my aunt and uncle to pull Serena away. After confirming the distance, ensuring Serena couldn't hear, they gritted their teeth and whispered, "Ryan White, Dawn. Be crazy here. If you upset your wife and mess up your brother's job, I won't spare you." My cousin's face was equally unpleasant, his jaw clenched even tighter. "And my job too. Don't even think about messing it up." Looking at these angry faces, I realized what was happening. My cousin and brother worked at my and Serena's company. They didn't dare offend Serena, they were afraid of losing their jobs. Serena brought me back, confidently asking them to persuade me, because she knew this. A deep sadness suddenly welled up in my heart. When everyone arrived, Serena announced that she had cheated. In less than 30 seconds, my family members didn't exchange a word. But they all thought about their jobs. They silently and tacitly chose to belittle me, to make me apologize, to make me compromise. Serena knew it all along. Family, this is my family. Fuck your family. My voice was shaking. For the sake of your jobs, you're distorting the truth, teaming up against me? Do you have any conscience? Don't forget, you were unemployed, sitting at home, and I was the one who brought you into the company. I'm the one who gave you jobs, I'm the one who's related to you by blood, not that trash. The economy was bad, my brother graduated and was immediately unemployed, without even getting an interview. My cousin was laid off because the company he worked for wasn't doing well, and he was sending out resumes like crazy. Serena and I had just succeeded in starting our business. The company was up and running, and we even had our own small factory. We needed people, and my brother and cousin's majors were a good fit, so I brought them into the company. It was supposed to be a good thing, but now it's a knife pointed at me. The more I spoke, the more agitated I became, and finally, I almost screamed. But they didn't think they were even slightly wrong. Instead, they all looked down on me. You think bringing us into the company makes you special? You're thinking highly of yourself. The company belongs to your wife, the factory belongs to your wife, and she's the one paying the salaries. The one who really calls the shots, the one who deserves the credit, is your wife, not you. That's right, we haven't called you a kept man, you're just her accessory, enjoying her good fortune. You can't even recognize your place. You really think you're capable. Okay, stop being crazy. Don't you know what the environment is like right now? Don't you know how hard it is to find a job? For your brother and cousin's jobs, can't you just compromise a little? Besides, it's not like you're really suffering. She's good looking, and she makes money, you're living a good life. You're already a kept man, and you're still not satisfied, you're so greedy. My voice suddenly became hoarse, and I said through gritted teeth, I'm not relying on her. I built the company with her. If we're really talking about it, I deserve more credit than her. My dad scoffed and interrupted me. You're my son, I know what you're like. You're a useless man, you're not capable. Looking at the scoff on my dad's face, my heart clenched. When I first entered the workforce after graduation, I was able to get a salary of $8,000 during the worst economic downturn. After that, it kept rising. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. I spent a lot of that money on my family. My brother's computer, phone, bicycle. My dad's teapot, tea leaves, fishing rod. My mom's necklace, gold bracelet, cosmetics. I didn't even know Serena back then. They saw my ability. But now, I'm not capable. I'm a useless man, a kept man, relying on a woman. My dad paused, softening his tone. Okay, don't be angry. Love, cheating, none of that matters, what matters is getting through life. She wasn't even trying to hide it from you, she's already very good. My dad patted my cousin on the shoulder, and they exchanged glances. My cousin left. My dad continued, you can't get a divorce, and your brother and cousin can't lose their jobs. After you go back, you need to appease your wife and have her give you a son. That way, even if she goes out to play again, you can use your son to tie her down, and you won't have to worry about your life. I told your cousin to bring her back. Lower your head, admit your mistake, and let's just forget about it. As he said this, footsteps approached, and my dad's face lit up with a smile. He turned his head, pushed me forward. Serena, we've taught him a lesson, and he knows he was being foolish. You're not getting a divorce, remember to live a good life from now on. My dad pressed down on my back, pushing me forward. He winked at me. The meaning was clear, what are you waiting for, hurry up and apologize. Serena came closer, nodded to my dad, and reached out to take my hand. Okay, let's go home, I'll restrain myself. I took a deep breath, gritted my teeth, turned around, and pushed my dad's hand away. My family wasn't worthy. That scumbag was even less worthy. No one can bully me. No one. With an incredulous look on my dad's face, I raised my hand and slapped Serena hard across the face. The sound of the slap echoed, and Serena and my dad were stunned. Serena covered her face, staring at me blankly. You dare hit me? I didn't answer, and I didn't stop. I brought my knee up and kicked Serena hard. Serena grunted and curled up on the ground, clutching her stomach. I kicked her in the face, causing blood to gush from her nose and mouth. I stepped forward, stomped on her face, and ground it in. Restrain yourself, my ass. Anyone who wrongs me won't get away with it. As soon as I finished speaking, my dad roared. He rushed at me, grabbed my hair, and pulled it with all his might. Ah, 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 ah. Ryan White, you really want to die. How dare you hit someone, and you hit so hard. My dad roared, slapping me across the face. He always exercised. Immediately, blood appeared on his hard hand. He had cut my face. But maybe it was because I was emotional, I didn't feel any pain. But the bloody fingertip and the sweet and bloody taste in my mouth told me that the slap was not light. Without any hesitation, I turned around and slapped my dad hard across the face. With a look of shock on my dad's face, I grabbed his hair. Pulling and tugging, I slammed his head against Serena's head. There was a loud thud, and the two of them fell to the ground, their faces contorted. I looked at them coldly. Anyone who wrongs me won't get away with it. My brother and mom were scared. Their original steps forward hesitated, then retreated. Fear, mixed with more anger, was on their faces. Glaring at me, my mom almost instinctively ordered my brother. Call the police! Call the police! The police station was nearby, and the police arrived quickly. They glanced at me, my face bloody, my dad with a swollen forehead, Serena with a swollen forehead and a bloody nose and mouth. The police waved. Let's all go to the police station. My dad had recovered. He covered his forehead with one hand and stopped the police with the other. Take this bastard away, lock him up. My wife isn't going. My wife needs to go to the hospital first. The police looked at Serena and said fine. He looked at everyone's expression, and finally his eyes landed on me. One person against such a big family. What kind of person are you? You're so bold. Let's go. I followed the police's gaze and looked around. My dad, my brother, my aunt, my uncle, my cousin. Everyone was looking at me with hatred. No wonder the police could tell at a glance that they were a family, and that I was an outsider. But I'm this man's son. His biological son. All the way to the police station, my thoughts were wandering. I thought of a colleague I had when I was working. I remembered a conversation I had with him once. He had just finished a phone call, and the person on the other end was his dad. During the call, my colleague's expression was disgusted, and his tone was full of sarcasm. After he hung up, after learning that it was his dad on the other end, I couldn't hide my surprise. This colleague was usually friendly to everyone, and I had never seen him like this before. People have many faces. He was a good colleague and a good employee, but he was an unfilial son? We started talking. I tactfully expressed my doubts. That colleague smiled and talked about how his parents disliked his salary and ability, how he almost had to drop out of school, and how his salary was carefully planned. What he said at the end was something I didn't understand at the time, but it left a deep impression. Not all parents love their children. More often than not, it's about interests. When they give birth to a child, they don't think about how I can give him love, how I can help him grow, how I can show him the world. They think about how I want a laborer. I want someone to support me when I'm old. I want him to bring me benefits, to change my life that I can no longer change on my own. He's a stepping stone, he's profitable. At that time, I had always been excellent. I got all the scholarships I could get. I got all the tuition waivers I could get. At an age when others were paying to go to school, I was being paid by the school to go to school. I was my parents' pride, and they always had smiles and concern for me. What my colleague said was too far away. But people have many faces. I thought I was far away from the things my colleague talked about. But that wasn't true. On the contrary, I had always been in the middle of it. But because I showed my ability first, because I brought value to my family first. So, my parents' profiteering faces were suppressed. I earned smiles with my own ability. And now, I worked hard to start a business. After finally succeeding, I told myself half a year ago that I didn't have to keep working so hard. I should relax. That relaxation led to a body full of illness, making me irregular at the hospital. That relaxation led to my wife, who was tasting the sweetness of entrepreneurship, ignoring my sick body and cheating on me without any guilt. That relaxation made me worthless in my parents' and brother's eyes, and even everything from before was denied. I became my colleague in his youth. My parents' ugly side was exposed. The ugliness of the world was all attacking me. I was angry, and every time I hit hard. Serena's nose and mouth were split open. Half of her face was torn by my shoe, seeping blood. The worst was her teeth. One front tooth was loose, and one front tooth had completely fallen out. After the hospital examination, my dad stormed into the police station with his swollen forehead, yelling, "That bastard hurt my good wife like that. He's so vicious. You have to lock him up. You have to punish him." But he was disappointed. I'm this man's son, his biological son. The police officer who brought me back checked. He confirmed that what I said was true. And after asking about the cause and effect, he looked at me with pity. My dad didn't get his wish. In the end, the police pointed to my face and told my dad, "If you want to deal with it together. He was also injured, it's mutual assault. Either sign a settlement, or you and him will be locked up for 7 days and fined $500. It's your choice." My dad was so anxious that he jumped up and down, saying that the police were protecting me and that it wasn't fair at all. But that was the result. His wish to show his loyalty to his good wife was shattered. After signing the paper, we left the police station together. Those 6 people supported Serena and stopped me. My dad, no, Easton White, glared at me fiercely. "Don't think you're so great just because some blind cop is backing you up. I'm telling you, if you don't apologize to Serena and let Serena hit you back, this isn't over." After Easton White finished speaking, those 6 people stepped forward in unison, putting pressure on me. I looked at the 7 people in front of me indifferently, and I stepped forward. "Okay, come on, kill me." They were surprised for a moment, and didn't say anything. But their jaws were clenched so hard that they were clicking. I was expressionless. "You don't dare, do you? If you don't dare, then wait, I'm going to kill you." "I mean it." The company was able to succeed, and my contribution was greater than Serena's, and I wasn't bragging. I was stating the facts. After graduating and starting work, my ability was good, and my salary kept rising. That was just one thing. More importantly, my position in the company kept rising. The clients and colleagues I knew were also at higher levels. I wasn't just climbing the social ladder, I had ability. With more interaction, I was recognized, and gradually, they became my connections. This allowed me to get things done faster at work. After I quit my job and started my own business, I didn't break off contact. Through communication and mutual help, the company had money, a factory, and orders. To deny me, to say that I relied on a woman, to say that I was enjoying good fortune, to say that I was a kept man. These people were blind. They needed to open their eyes. My illness hadn't fully recovered, but I stopped taking my medicine and stopped treatment. I rented a new apartment and moved out, and started running to clients again. I had run before, but it was to get orders and negotiate partnerships for my own company. But now, I was running to find new partners for the connections who supported me, and to properly hand over their orders. Any partnership that originally went through me to the factory or the company wouldn't have a chance. I worked day and night for almost 2 weeks. The results were obvious. Partnerships were broken, orders were gone, and the machines in the factory were stopped. Serena, who hadn't said a word or asked about me since I moved out 2 weeks ago, got the news. She found me. Panting, Serena glared at me. Ryan White, you're crazy. Why did you push 8% of the company's orders out? The factory doesn't have any orders, and most of the machines have stopped. Do you know that if things keep going like this, the factory and the company will collapse? I looked at Serena coldly with a sneer. Of course I know, that's my purpose. Serena jumped up and down. That's your purpose? You want to ruin the factory and the company? Those are the results of our hard work to start a business. You actually want to ruin it. Are you sick? Is your brain broken? I interrupted her coldly. So you still remember that the company is the result of our hard work to start a business? You forgot yourself after just a few good days. You dared to betray me, you dog. But it's okay now. What doesn't belong to you, you're going to lose it soon. Serena opened her mouth. Her voice became hoarse. Do you have to go this far? I can cut it off. I can treat you again. You don't have to take it out on the company. I felt nauseous and waved my hand to interrupt. No need. Just wait to go bankrupt. Wait to be in debt. Serena was anxious. Her voice was very fast. If I go bankrupt, if I'm in debt, you can't escape. We're husband and wife. My debts are also your debts. I nodded. I know. So before you go bankrupt, I'm going to divorce you first. Serena roared. I won't let you succeed. I'll drag you down with me. I smiled. Okay, then let's die together. Anyway, I haven't had a good day since starting the business. I've just been taking medicine and staying in the hospital. I don't have anything to lose. The orders are gone, and the payments haven't been returned to the company's account yet, right? The ones holding the payments are all my friends, my connections. If we divorce, I can make them return the payments on time. You can go out and get orders yourself, and you can still struggle. If we don't divorce, if you want to die with me, then I'll make them drag it out, break the cash flow, and drag you to death. Before I finished speaking, Serena's body slumped. There was fear in her eyes as she looked at me. She trembled and took 2 steps back. You're crazy, you're really crazy. Why are you doing this so cruelly? I looked at Serena's eyes indifferently. Divorce, or not divorce? Do you want to live, or die together? Speak! Serena's body shook. Looking at me, she nodded quickly. Divorce, 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 I'll do whatever you say. Good dog, you're quite sensible. Go back and prepare the materials. Also, give me back all the assets you secretly transferred. Remember, you have to spit everything out. Don't let me find out that you're still hiding something. During these 2 weeks, I wasn't running to clients every minute. I also investigated my opponents. Serena's abnormality was that she was a dog who was cheating, and when I found out, she didn't take the opportunity to get a divorce. I investigated. I found out that she was secretly transferring assets behind my back. I found out she was cheating quickly, so she wasn't able to transfer all of her assets. For money, this woman played the deep love card, saying she couldn't bear to part with me, saying she still had feelings for me. For money, this woman even used my so-called family members. Too bad. I have a temper, I won't endure it. Too bad. Her actions couldn't hide from me, who was deliberately looking for something wrong. Serena didn't dare to look at me anymore, her eyes darted around. Finally, she lowered her head and said in a low voice that she knew, then left. I got my wish and registered for divorce with Serena. But during the cooling-off period, Serena didn't give up. She went out to get orders herself, and she encouraged my so-called family members. Easton White's family, who had been and insulting me on WeChat for more than 2 weeks, threatening me to apologize and demanding that I be beaten, came over. They yelled at me right away. You dare to mess with the company, Ryan White, you're so bold, you're out of control. Immediately, bring back the orders. If you cause your brother and sister to lose their jobs, I won't let you go. As expected of dogs on the same boat, even their barking was the same. I didn't have the slightest mood to pay attention to them and turned to close the door. But Easton White's son stopped the door, glaring at me fiercely. Cutting off someone's financial path is like killing their parents. You've already been uncooperative and messed things up once. I'm telling you, I took out a loan to buy a house, and I'm planning to get married with my girlfriend. Serena gave me a raise, and what's left after paying off the mortgage is more than my old salary. The company and my job are my life. If you mess with it again, I'm not going to be nice to you. Behind Easton White's son, his cousin glared at me. My attitude is the same, I smiled coldly, couldn't help but interrupt, and took over the conversation. You're also not going to be nice to me, right? You also got a raise, and you bought a car with a loan, and you have extra money to support your parents, and you can live a carefree life. The company and your job are also your life, right? I know all about it. Then what? I let go of the doorknob, pushed Easton White's son away, walked out of the house, and looked at them. Do you know why you trash are here today? Because I'm the one who paid you, the one who allowed you to live a carefree life. I'm the one who got the orders, I'm the one who negotiated the deals, I'm the one who made the company's money. Because everything depends on me, that's why I can mess with the company, that's why that trash Serena is helpless. That's why she called you dogs over here to put pressure on me, hoping to bring back the orders. But you won't succeed. You ingrates don't deserve to live a carefree life anymore, you don't deserve to take my money anymore. Easton White laughed scornfully. She opened her mouth, she looked like she wanted to refute me. I stepped forward, glared at her face to face, and blocked her. You short-sighted stupid woman of course can't believe it. And you really won't believe it, after all, you're stupid and blind. You're wearing the gold bracelet I bought for you with my salary on your wrist, and you can still say that I'm not capable, that I rely on women. Turning my head, ignoring Easton White's anger, my eyes fell on Easton White's son. You've also gone out to get orders. Use your dog brain to think about why I can get rid of the orders. Think hard. Easton White's son was silent, his eyebrows furrowed. His eyes were turning to the upper left. He was recalling. About a minute later, he frowned and looked at me. His hostility subsided. He didn't say anything. Easton White was smiling as she looked at him. Seeing him look at me silently, Easton White glared at me. Then she grabbed her son's arm, wanting him to deny it. Don't be silent, you speak. Son, you refute him. It can't be what he said. Easton White glanced at me with disgust. He's just a man who relies on women, he just has some rote learning skills. It's a little useful when he's in school, but it's definitely useless when he's working. He only knows how to do housework like a woman, how to serve a family, how could he possibly negotiate business? Speak, speak. Her son impatiently waved his hand, shaking off her hand. I don't know, don't ask me. Easton White was stunned, completely dumbfounded. Don't know. How can you not know? If you don't know, then that's true. How is it possible? How is it possible? Someone like him who's with a sugar mama should be at home. I don't know where Easton White got this idea from. But as my dad, he thought about himself like this, he thought about his own biological son like this. Sad, very sad. But it has nothing to do with me. I looked at everyone in front of me. Get out, and don't ever show your face around my place again. Don't make me call the cops. With that, I retreated inside and slammed the door shut. Easton White and his crew left. But not to go home. They went to Serena's company to verify things. At first, Serena was evasive, speaking vaguely. But under relentless questioning, she admitted it. The company was able to get off the ground, to get orders, largely thanks to him. What he said wasn't exactly wrong. I had already said it, but they didn't believe me. Now, hearing it from Serena's own mouth, they were stunned. Easton White, in disbelief, grabbed Serena's hand. You're telling me a wealthy socialite like you needed a broke guy to start this company? How could this be? How could this be? You're supposed to be a rich girl, a socialite. Serena looked awkward, trying to shake him off, but couldn't. Beside them, Easton White's son looked unhappy and resentful. It really was my brother who built it. It really was my brother. Then offending him, what about the company, the salaries? His cousin, standing on the periphery, had been watching Serena the whole time. Now, after giving her a deep look, he reacted. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward and slapped Serena hard across the face, cursing, "You slut, you can't control your own desires. My brother is good-looking and capable, he's more than good enough for you. And you're still not satisfied, you cheat on him while he's sick. You're lower than dirt, you're an animal, you apologize to my brother." Cursing, he slapped her twice more, swelling her face. Serena and Easton White were stunned for a moment. But soon, Easton White's son reacted. Shedding his resentment, he grabbed Serena by the collar and slammed her against the wall. Yeah, my cousin is right. You're trash, you don't deserve my brother. You dare bully my brother, I'll show you what it's like to bully my brother. Cursing, he threw a punch, hitting Serena squarely in the face. Serena's injuries from my beating hadn't fully healed. 3 slaps and a punch, and blood immediately appeared on her face. Her newly repaired front teeth immediately felt loose again. She yelled, her eyes red, "Are you all crazy? I never said I was a socialite, why are you hitting me?" Before she could finish, Easton White, the one most unwilling to accept reality, reacted too. She grabbed Serena's hair and pulled it hard. "We're not crazy, we're here to get justice for our son. Bullying my son, I'll beat you to death." I stopped watching the video there. In the chat box, my friend, a former client of the company, had gone to Serena to terminate their contract that day. He witnessed it, filmed it, and sent it to me. After the video, he still had doubts. These are really your family? Not to put them down, but their behavior is disgusting. It wasn't putting them down, what he said was true. Not just him, even I was disgusted at that moment. If there's profit to be made, they abandon all principles and can sway at any moment. Disgusting. The next time I saw Serena and the Easton White family, it was in front of the courthouse. The cooling-off period for the divorce was over, and it was time to get the papers. Unlike the previous encounters, this time, they had all humbled themselves. Easton White was the first to approach me. Ignoring my cold face, she grabbed my arm. "Son, I'm sorry. Dad was wrong, Dad was ignorant. You know how it is in this society, back in our day, if you met someone rich, you basically didn't have to work hard. Dad was born in that era, influenced by that mindset for so long, it's hard not to be like these people. But Dad's been good. You remember when you were a good student, Dad always praised you? Dad's been good, Dad knows he was wrong, really. Dad had your brother and your cousin get justice for you." Saying that, Easton White pointed at Serena. "See that? That slut's teeth, just fixed. I had your brother knock them out again. We're a family, no one can bully my precious son." The other 5 nodded repeatedly. The hateful glances they once gave me were now directed at Serena. Serena's hair was a mess, with dark circles under her eyes. She had been desperately trying to find orders these past few days. But she had no connections, and with the economy bad, she couldn't find any. At this moment, I was her lifeline. Easton White was still putting her down in front of me. Serena panicked and jumped. "That's a lie! Honey, don't believe them. They don't know they were wrong, they just know they can make money by sucking up to you. They're just a bunch of ingrates, opportunists, they'll follow whoever gives them the most benefits. You can't trust them." Frantically, Serena leaned in, forcing a stiff smile. We're married, we're family. You remember when we first got together, we said we'd always be together? I made mistakes, but it was all their fault, they seduced me, I wasn't willing. But I really know I was wrong, I've changed." Saying that, Serena took out her phone and showed me her WeChat. Look, I deleted them all, and you're at the top now. You're the only one I pinned, you're my husband, we're family. I won't be ignorant again, or belittle you, or take credit for your work. We're a family forever, no divorce, honey, no divorce." This time, before I could call Serena disgusting, Easton White's wife acted first. She slapped Serena's phone away and stood protectively in front of me with a cold face. "Don't even think about tricking my son again. You're just someone who can't change their ways." The divorce went through. The Easton White family dragged a reluctant Serena into the courthouse with me. Sign in. Confirming, getting the certificate. Once they had the certificate in hand, the family threw Serena away like trash, smiling at me. Okay, my son is free from suffering, completely rid of that scumbag. They shouldn't have been together in the first place. That scumbag didn't deserve my brother at all. Yeah, Ryan is so capable. He can run a company on his own. That kind of woman doesn't deserve him. Ryan, what are your plans now? You've been resting for so long, isn't it time to plan, to start a company again? Easton White's son's eyes lit up. Yeah, bro, are you starting a company again? This time, no outsiders, just as family. It'll be better than before. Serena, tossed aside like trash, panicked. No, honey, our company is still there. Come back and let's make the company better together. I'll listen to you. I'll listen to everything you say. A chilling gaze suddenly fell on Serena. 6 voices spoke in unison. Shut up! My gaze, which had been on Serena, suddenly shifted to me. I looked back at them. You shut up! Serena on the periphery laughed. She squeezed in, smiling at me. Honey, I knew. I cut her off. You shut up. You don't deserve it either. All 7 of you trash. Don't even think about me helping you. You don't deserve it. Holding the divorce certificate, holding my share of the assets, I left the city that day. I had already chosen my destination. It was a place with spring-like weather all year round, with beautiful scenery. I would heal my body there, and I would start a new life there. That's what I thought, and that's what I did. Unlike my peaceful life, the 7 people I left behind had problems. Serena, a piece of trash, disloyal and ungrateful. Of course I wouldn't let her off so easily. I took the divorce certificate. And I held back the payment that was promised to be returned on time. Delay it as long as possible, drag her down to her death. As expected, Serena's cash flow dried up. Half of the assets she had just received, she sold or mortgaged. Before she could even enjoy it, it was all gone. And it wasn't enough, she still had to pay compensation. A huge amount of money. So much that she would spend the rest of her life in debt. The Easton White family wasn't doing well either. Serena fired Easton White's son and his cousin. She didn't pay their salaries, didn't compensate them at all, just dragged it out. They still had car loans and mortgages. Originally, they were counting on sucking up to me, and I would start over with them, then the money wouldn't be a problem. But I wasn't fooled by their so-called family affection and fake smiles. I continued to choose to break ties. Unable to get money from Serena, unable to find a way out with me. Burdened by loans, they started looking for jobs, cursing. But the economy was bad. Always bad. The jobs they could find paid only $3,000 or $5,000. Not even enough to cover the loans. The car was okay, they couldn't hold on any longer, they gritted their teeth and sold it used for half the price. They then paid to fill the hole. Life became tight, struggling. But at least, they could still get by. The house was a disaster. Housing prices had been falling all along. At this time, they couldn't sell it at all. Either they kept paying for it, watching the money go into a bottomless pit, or they stopped paying and got blacklisted. Easton White's son didn't want either. As he fell into trouble, his girlfriend broke up with him. Conflict erupted. Easton White's son hit Easton White. He hit him hard. Damn it, if you hadn't been so ignorant and picked the wrong side, I wouldn't be like this. You watched him grow up, you can't not know if he's capable. You didn't believe him, you ran to believe an outsider, saying she was a socialite, had a family fortune. You've ruined me, you're a disaster. Easton White's wife tried to stop him. But a young man in his 20s, in a fit of rage, was not someone she could stop. She was also beaten. The couple were both beaten into the hospital. In the hospital, Easton White borrowed a doctor's phone, bypassed my blacklist, and called me crying. Your brother really has no conscience, beating and scolding his own father. Come back, you got money, right? Take it back to help us. Dad knows Mom is sorry, Dad's begging you. This wasn't knowing they were wrong, this was knowing I was useful. I hung up the phone. I heard about the final outcome. Easton White reluctantly sold the old house she lived in. It didn't sell for much, but at least it filled a little bit of the hole. The family moved into a new unfinished house, working together to continue to pay for this bottomless pit. The conflict didn't disappear. Instead, it intensified with each passing day, with no end in sight, with endless work and payments. The number of times they went to the hospital increased. But it had nothing to do with me. My body was getting better little by little, the pain of the past was fading little by little. Everything was getting better and better.